I'd like to call this February meeting of the Knox County Ethics Committee to order. Madam Clerk, would you read the roll call?
Virginia Knox, Darrell Arnold, Perry Beal, Michael Covington,
Here.
Rusty Goddard, Catherine Ogrove,
Here.
Mary Linda Swartzbart, Byron Wood, Courtney Dewart,
Here.
Marcus Kennedy, Greg Stennett.
Our devotional this month will be given by Mary Linda.
My late husband called me a prayer book junkie because I'm always looking for the newer and better ones. One we're using right now in the synagogue has wonderful readings in it. I'll quote Einstein's coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. And I had picked this not for, it's a quote I like, but not relevant. I mean, relevant to this Black History Month. So nice coincidence. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, who I never knew but have writes beautifully. But Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel was asked upon his return to the 1965 Summit for Government Voting Rights Martin Luther King. He was asked, "Did you find time to pray?" He famously answered, "I prayed with my feet." And then he goes on to write in another section, "Prayer is no panacea, no substitute for action. It is rather like a beam of light thrown from a flashlight before us into the darkness. It is this light that we grow to discover what we find, discover where we stand, what's around us, and the course which we should choose." And this is another selection that brought out by his Christian, but angels. The Hebrew word for angel means malach, means messenger, one who is sent, unsuspected and unaware. People chosen to be messengers of the Most High rarely even know that they are God's messengers. He writes that he does not know how many times in one's life one is also a messenger, but everyone is at least once. And for myself, I have seen many, experienced many, known and I have started making a list of the angels in my life. Been there just what I needed.
Next, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, led by Perry Beal. You have your agenda before you. Do we have a motion to accept the agenda as it is printed? Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for today's meeting. Are we ready for the question? Thank you. All in favor? All opposed? The ayes have it. You also have before you the minutes from the last meeting. If you just take just a moment to glance over those and make sure that it is reflective of our previous meeting. Catherine says yes. Yes, looks good. All right. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented? Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Catherine. There is a motion and a second to accept our minutes from our previous meeting. Are you ready for the question? All in favor? All opposed? Once again, unanimous. Do we have any old business? Doesn't appear we do. How about new business? Obviously, we have a new member, Carletta Rando Smelter. No, sir. Would you like to say a few words to us? Not putting you on the spot.
I am Carla Dominguez-Sponsor. I am from Knoxville. I work in the mental health facility. So I have a private practice, Lions View Counseling, and I'm excited to serve on this board. I teach at 2 local universities, and I teach some ethics courses. So yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Well, welcome. We're on a record pace. I wanted to take just a moment to share something with you. A member of the media asked me the other day, is anything happening on the ethics committee next week? You know, it's an election year. And in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, well, that makes sense, because there has been a time when the ethics committee has been considered a political tool. And David Luke and I have had many discussions about this and how this committee needs to be above reproach in terms of citizens coming before us to use what we do as a political weapon. So what I wanted to share is this. I think the Ethics Committee over certainly the last 5 years has wrestled with or dealt with 3 specific things that I think will shape future complaints. And first thing is firsthand knowledge. And those of you who are new to the committee, some of our cases in the past have involved information that was not considered firsthand knowledge. So the Ethics Committee does insist that complainants have firsthand knowledge of whatever the incident is. The second thing is that the complaint be fact-based. And there have been some instances where we've had complaints come before us, and essentially they were a suspicion that something had been done that was incorrect. And the complainant was thinking that we would actually investigate their suspicion. That's just not what we do. What we do is we seek to verify what a complainant considers to be fact. And if in fact it is fact, then we investigate further. So that's something that has been clarified in the last several years. The last thing is time frames. As it relates to an election year, if you're seeking elective office and someone decides that they need to bring up something that you did 3 years ago, well, it's just too late. If it was relevant and it was something that needed the attention of the Ethics Committee, it should have been done in a timely manner. So to tie this in a bow, essentially at this point, I think the Ethics Committee has defined and redefined what it means to submit a complaint. And so my anticipation is if in the event we do see a case this year, my guess is that the committee has clarified what is a legitimate complaint. And so we'll know exactly what we're looking for if someone has a complaint in this particular year, especially because it's an election year. So I just wanted to throw that out. If you're fairly new to the committee or if you joined the committee just last year, these are some things that we've wrestled with and clarified over the last several years. So hopefully that will make our work clearer and more expeditious. So with that, unless there is any additional business, our next Captain Stennett, I'd like to introduce you as our new non-voting member from the Sheriff's Department. Is that correct? Would you like to say a few words?
I'm Captain Greg Stennett. I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 28 years. Right now, I'm the head of our internal affairs teams.
Perfect. Thanks for joining us. All right. Our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, May 11th in the Assembly Room, main Assembly Room, 8:30 a.m. Thanks so much for being here. And get ready for spring. We are now adjourned.